Hey, everybody, welcome to Away Games, a baseball and Chicago Cubs podcast. I'm Kevin McCaffrey. I'm here with Adam Mamawala. What's up, Adam?
How's it going?
Oh, it's great. It's going real good. Today, we have a very fun guest joining us, I believe from Florida, although I guess I don't know for sure. We have Kyle Farnsworth joining us. What's up, Kyle?
How you guys doing? Yeah, I'm down here in Orlando, Florida. So, yeah, doing
Okay.
well.
Nice. It looks like you are you currently working out? I mean, that's what I would have guessed anyway. I guess you appear to be in a gym.
No, I'm at my own gym. So I'm here at my front desk. Got my dog down here.
Oh,
there you go.
Which dog are we looking at?
Facility over here. This is Rambo.
Rambo. Now, I don't. Now, Rambo is a relatively famous dog, right?
I don't know if he is or not. I mean, I've had a few American Bulldogs over my career, so.
Okay, I mean, my wife was asking who we had on the show today, and I was explaining Kyle Farnsworth. He's was with the Cubs. We're mainly Cubs fans. A long time ago, he played for a bunch of teams and had one of my favorite injury-related quotes of all time, which was, I believe. Do you know what quote I'm talking about?
I don't know about the quote, but I think I know about one of the incidents that may have happened.
I do. So your dogs were fighting, right?
Yes. So that was Strike and Zeus, not this one, but
okay. So
they got an altercation, and I just had to break it up, and I got bit on my right hand. I think I got 4 stitches or something like that, but didn't miss any games. Taped it up, super glued it,
Gamer.
stitches, and kept on pitching. So.
Oh man, I think the quote was something like someone was asking you about it, and you said, "I don't know what happened. I was just reaching in there, grabbing dogs, throwing dogs," which is
pretty much.
You say super glued it. I know that's like I think that's like a thing we've heard of to temporarily fix an injury. Is it just you just literally super glue the thing?
Yeah, I had stitches in it as well, but you can't have. I don't think we could have a Band-Aid on it. So in order to keep it from not bleeding, we just super glued the rest of it together so it wouldn't bleed.
I mean, if it works, heck yeah.
Yeah, it worked. So.
So you're at your gym, your performance center right now, right?
Yes, correct. So got here around 7:30 this morning.
Okay. And is that during all this, quarantine stuff, how's your day-to-day life down there going?
I didn't change anything really too much. I'm not going to live my life in a bubble. I'm going to wash my hands, keep my distance, stuff like that. But, I'm going to still, I'm going to be cautious, but still live my life. That's just me. I'm active and don't want to be bottled up. So, But, things are obviously a little bit more slow around here at this time, and people are, playing it more safe and stuff like that, which, they have all right to. And,
Sure.
Everything will get back to normal sooner or later.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously we, in looking at your career, you played for a lot of different teams. We most remember you with the Cubs since we're both big Cubs fans, but starting out your career there, is there anything that comes to mind when you immediately think about those 6 seasons with the Cubs?
No, obviously the fight, but just the Cubs just give me an opportunity. Drafted me in the 47th round out of high school, so they gave me my first opportunity and believed in me, and this, I have a little bit of my heart for them to be able to trust me and believe me for that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And you're drafted in the 47th round, which is, I think they just cut it. I mean, they cut it down to 5 rounds for this year, but I think they cut it down to even below that. And now it's like, I feel like back then it was easier for prospect types to sneak up on you because it wasn't as well followed. I remember, being surprised that there was a guy who was throwing 100 that I hadn't really heard much about before then. Do you have any idea how you lasted to the 47th round back then? Because it doesn't seem.
I mean, I wasn't throwing that hard, and I think I topped out maybe 90 out of high school.
Oh, okay.
Just averaging, probably 86 to 88 probably. But, then I was what they called a draft and follow at that time. So they could draft me and then just follow me. I went to junior college, so they just follow how I did then, and they signed me before the draft of the next year. So, but yeah, I guess that was one of the reasons why I was in the 47th round. I didn't really have any much leverage, as far as colleges and stuff like that.
Right.
And I wasn't throwing. I don't know if that was hard back then. To me, I thought it was hard. But
yeah, sure.
Obviously, nothing. Nothing like what I grew into as learning my mechanics, my body, and getting bigger and stronger.
Right now, and I know in high school, obviously, you played multiple sports. Were you thinking about going a different route in terms of like playing in college or playing professionally? Because we know you can tackle, that's for sure.
I wanted to play football. My ninth grade, I played, but my dad decided to direct me more towards baseball just for the fact that he said it's guaranteed money and less injuries. So
Right.
He was pretty much correct on that one. I think I played 16 years, didn't really have a major injury. And then after I got done with baseball, I played semi-pro football for 5 years and blew my knee out completely in my right shoulder. So he was pretty much spot on.
I saw that though. I mean, how do you go from not playing organized football since high school to all of a sudden playing D-end, right, and getting 11 sacks? Is Wikipedia correct on that? It's insane.
It is late in the career for a baseball player to have double-digit sacks. I think, yeah.
No, that's correct. I've always wanted to, I tried to do or attempt to do NFL while I was still playing, when I was younger, in my 20s, but it just never panned out. But this is something I've always wanted to go back and do, and I didn't want to go back in my life and think, I wish I would have done this, wish I would have done that. And when I got released by the Astros, I think it was 2014, I just came back here to Orlando and found, the Orlando Phantoms, a semi-pro football team, just tried out. I had no idea what was going to happen, and ended up making the team. And rest is kind of history there. I think I made 2 all-star teams, 2. We won the championship twice, so pretty fun.
2 all-star teams, 2 championships, and 1 knee.
and 1 shoulder.
Yeah, 1 shoulder. What is? I mean, that's a good question. What is the semi-pro football life like down there? Like, where is it? Mostly Florida teams? Or are you guys traveling further around the country, or what?
I think we went to Georgia, but mainly everybody was down here in Florida. Probably maybe the furthest was maybe down in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But it's legit talent. It's kids who played high school and played some semi-pro or played college. Some guys who played in CFL, arena football leagues. So it's definitely legit talent. It's just sometimes kids take I'll just put they take a turn, go down the wrong path and they end up don't getting drafted or something like that. So there's kids out there that are really good.
Right.
I'd imagine there had to be guys you were playing football with who, I mean, I feel like if I was joining a football team and I saw that a guy named Kyle Farnsworth was on the team, I'd be like, that's probably not the same, right? Were there guys you played with who knew you and were surprised to see you there?
It took a while. It probably took about a year before some people figured it out. I think my head coach knew who I was because he was a big baseball fan. But besides that, maybe 1 or 2 other people had an idea, but they weren't sure. They're like, why would he be out here doing this
Sure.
at his age? Stuff like that. I never published it. I kept it quiet, but because I just wanted to be treated just like one of the guys. I wanted to earn my spot. I didn't want to be given anything just because of who I was. So I just wanted to be one of the dudes out there.
Right.
That's great. And one stat when we was just looking up, your stat page. One stat I was surprised by. I don't know if you knew even, but do you know you're 29th all time in games pitched? Were you aware of that? You do.
That's one. Yeah. That's one of the stats that I really kind of know. So that's leads to staying healthy, being good, and longevity. So something I take pride in.
Yeah. And one thing you mentioned before from Cubs fan times, you mentioned, of course, the fight. We're talking, and that's the Paul Wilson thing, which I showed my wife the other day when we talked about this, and she had not seen it before. She said, "quote Oh shit." And she was like, you don't see this in baseball. I'm like, yeah, you don't anymore. That was, I think that ended it. But I think one thing that's overlooked about that is you actually didn't start the fight there. You were run at first, right?
Correct. So what I found out afterwards, yeah, we were already losing. I think it was 2-1. I think it was in the 7th inning, and I had a guy on first base. Wilson's just trying to bunt the guy over. The ball just runs up and in. So he ends up walking that. You know, I'm got to cover home because the guys go to second. No, it's just my reaction to cover home because the catcher's getting a wild pitch.
Right.
So Wilson goes, "What the fuck? Can I cuss?"
Yeah. Please do.
Right.
Yes.
He goes, "What the fuck are you throwing me for?" And I said, "Fuck you! I'm not throwing at you." So that's when he throws the bat down and comes at me, and I just reacted and just met him first. So, but what I found out afterwards. My Pryor was pitching. He hit Jason LaRue, so then Paul Wilson hit Mark Pryor. So I'm guessing he thought I was coming in and to hit Paul or hit him, and so that mixture between that and greenies in those days. So a bad mixture.
Sure, yes.
Now I have to ask: have you seen the John Boy breakdown of that fight that he posted a month or two ago? Has anyone sent that to you?
Yeah, actually, my son sent it to me.
Oh, that's fun.
I thought it was pretty funny. I guess his friend sent it to him, then he sent it to me.
Oh, that's great. Well, it actually is interesting to hear this breakdown because I had not considered the fact, the previous meaning, and also that you would just be naturally going to cover home, and how maybe Wilson thought he was already thinking about an altercation, and how that might have seemed to him like you were coming.
Yep, exactly. Thought that I was an act of aggression towards him.
I would like to think that when you tried out for the Orlando Phantoms, you were just like, "Here's this YouTube link. This is all."
Yep. So it helped me out get the spot.
Yeah, right. And it's also just peak early 2000s fashion. You got the necklace there is such a great timestamp.
No, yeah, the good old days.
Oh, hell yeah! Did you ever talk to Wilson after that?
No, I haven't. It sucks what happened. I heard he's a great dude, and
Sure.
It's just it's part of the game. Obviously I have no hard feelings. It's not just because I didn't end up on the wrong end of it. It happens and stuff like that. So it's all good.
Right.
I was going to ask, in general, I think when I think about your career, like you always seem like a pretty fiery guy to me. Like, how did you balance keeping that intensity, but also not like letting it affect your performance?
I don't know. It's a fine line that I'm sure a lot of athletes have. As soon as you cross over that line, you flip the switch, and then you do the best you can to flip it back off when you cross back over it when you're not in the game anymore,
right,
and back at home and stuff like that. It can be tough. It's not easy. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those things that there's really no instructions on how to do it. You just kind of have to learn and talk to other guys, I guess, in the way of how they handle things, and just do the best you can.
Nice. Yeah, Bobby Cox had a pretty fun quote about you, just talking about that fire. I don't know if do you know which quote I'm saying here?
Nuh-uh.
He said, "It's one thing to wonder if a pitcher is crazy, or more accurately, brave enough to go after you. It's another thing entirely to know that he will absolutely, positively do it." Everyone knows where Farnsworth stands on that issue. So, which is, I feel like that's a pretty cool thing to have, like, one of the greatest managers of all time. He was saying how your teammates, I think when people were talking about like that fire, where he was like, you have to understand, people want Kyle Farnsworth as a teammate for obviously just the on the field performance, of course, but also that element of knowing the guy has your back,
Yeah, no, that's one thing. I always had my teammates back no matter what. And I think all my teammates knew that, and that's I took pride in that. It's good to hear Bobby say something like that. I respect him as a manager. I love playing for him for the 2 times I was there in Atlanta. It's my hometown team, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's great. You grew up a Braves fan?
Oh, yep. Grew up probably about 30 minutes north of Atlanta, so I always watched them. Dale Murphy was my guy. I watched John Smoltz pitch, try to emulate him, so it was pretty cool.
That's great. Who did you have an all-time favorite teammate? I mean, you played for so many teams in so many years. Who were a couple of your favorite teammates to play with?
I still keep in touch with Scott Proctor. I played with him with the Yankees and the Braves. He's really the only guy that I really constantly keep in contact with. Elliott Johnson, I play with him with the Rays. Mm-hmm. Just a few guys here and there. I run into guys here in Orlando area because there's a bunch of retired baseball players here. But I keep a small circle. Just keep myself a lot, and just my family and close friends.
Yeah, totally. And I was actually, you mentioned the Rays. In looking at your numbers, I mean, that 2011 season is to me one of your most impressive years, where 25 saves, 2.18 ERA. And that was a really memorable Rays team. It's that crazy Longoria walk-off. Like, what is your memory of that time, and also of playing for Joe Maddon?
Just the whole time there, Joe let the guys be themselves, relaxed atmosphere, let them play to their capabilities without putting stress, because the game's hard enough as it is. He just let them go out there and play, have fun. That 1 year was the 160. I think it was 162.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a crazy. Actually, that was just a crazy day in general, because I think the Red Sox, Orioles was going on. I think it was the Braves and someone else. And there's two or three different divisions were going on at the same time. So that was pretty cool as well. But I mean, just the time, down in Tampa was fun. I stayed here in Orlando, so I commuted back and forth. So I was able to stay with my family, which is hard to do usually.
Yeah.
But no, it was a lot of fun.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a hell of a team. I remember that last day of the season. It was just like complete chaos. Like, you're watching the scoreboards in the different cities. I think there was like a rain delay in the Red Sox game. Then you guys come back and tie it dramatically. So it was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
crazy day.
Yeah, very March Madness vibe. And then you ended up, and then you also ended up playing in the Mexican League after that, right?
Correct.
How is life down there, and how is the league down there playing in the Mexican League?
The competition wise, it's probably like AAA competition. There are a lot of great players down there. Actually, I mean, my first year. I played with Miguel Tejada. He was on our team.
Oh, yeah.
So there was actually, I mean, Luke Scott was there as well. He was with the Rays, plays in Baltimore. I mean, there's been a lot of guys actually that got down there, and I was surprised. I think Rajai Davis went down this year. But the competition's fun. They're great fans. The fields most of them are decent. A lot of dancing around in the stands, mascots on the field.
Oh man,
trumpets. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, I went to the Caribbean World Series a couple years ago, and you're not kidding about like the Team Mexico fans. It really is just like a full telenovela going on, where there was just like there were two dudes dressed as the devil. There was a guy dressed as a cow, like swinging those noisemaker cranks like the whole time. I was very hungover, and it was a really very rough hangover atmosphere. But the enthusiasm.
But it was fun. I saw a part of the country I never would have seen before without baseball. So met some good people, and was able still to play baseball.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention your recent Instagram post, where on your 44th birthday, you squatted 225 pounds 44 times.
Jesus.
Are you in better shape now than you were when you were playing? Because that's insane to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in lot better shape now than I was when I was playing. I think the heaviest I weighed was probably about a month ago. I got to 270,
270?
40 pounds. I was probably when I'm playing weight. Yeah. So I was probably my playing weight. I was probably 335. So 30 to 35 pounds. I had to do it for football because I was getting tossed around a lot by the big old offensive linemen and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't lift that heavy during when I was playing. My lower body was big, but I couldn't lift super heavy like I am right now for strength and stuff like that. So a lot of my weight has been put on my upper body.
Well, I have to tell you, Kyle, I turned 33 on Monday, and I watched at least 33 minutes of Netflix. So if that makes you feel good about yourself.
Got to do something, right?
Yeah. Next year, 34 minutes. You're slowly building up. You'll get
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, we won't keep you too much longer, Kevin. You got any last questions here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've obviously it's just you have a really the list of like leagues you've played in and accomplishments is so like crazy and fun. We said the Mexican League, the major leagues, obviously, semi-pro football. You also have a black belt, correct? Is that or is that just something people will see? You do actually have a black belt.
Yeah,
Is it?
I've been forever in Taekwondo.
Oh, in Taekwondo. Okay, sweet. So I feel like you seem to be the kind of guy who there's a lot of like Kyle Farnsworth stories that you'll read online. And I feel like you must be a kind of guy that people have just like made up stories about. Do you have a favorite either fake Kyle Farnsworth story that you've heard or a favorite true one that you hear gets passed around?
Honestly, I haven't really heard of any. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
You have a reputation as a badass.
I don't know if I want to hear it.
Sure.
I don't know if I want to hear any of these stories.
Okay, I'll send you some links after we hang up here. Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us, man, and for helping us figure out Zoom. Is there anything you want to plug? Anywhere you want to say people can follow you who are listening?
I'm on Instagram, Kyle Farnsworth. On Twitter, I think it's 24_7 Farnsworth, I believe. And I just joined Cameo as well yesterday, so
nice.
just trying to get out there to the fans and just help them out and just interact with them. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's great. We'll throw the links up in the link to this episode, and and follow us at Away Games Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And Kyle, thanks so much for joining us, and stay safe down there in Orlando.
Yeah, thanks again.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, see you, man.
All right.